And everyone's favorite symbiologist, Robert Langdon, he is back in the new Dan Brown thriller, Inferno. Now, previous installments have sold over 200 million copies in 50 countries, spawning a subgenre of knockoffs and spoilers for eager fans. But this time, Brown, he managed to keep them off his trail. WSJ Arena reporter Alexandra Alter, who covers the publishing business, is with us right now. How he wrote this book is almost like a thriller in itself. I mean, he has to throw these potential copycats and people who want to give these spoilers off his trail when he's just doing his reporting.
Exactly. I mean, as Brown has gotten more and more famous, you know, his books, as well as being thrillers, are sort of like mini art history primers. He likes to spend a lot of time in the, visiting the artworks and the architectural sites that he's writing about. And since he's gotten so famous, it's made it hard for him to keep his plot secrets. Secrecy is extremely important to him. His books have, sold incredible amount of copies, and largely they're popular because they have these explosive revelations, so you can't let that out.
And so at first I thought maybe he's just being paranoid, but there are actually people out there already writing books dissecting what they think the plot of this book is going to be before they've even read his next book.
That's right.
So what are some of the places he visited to evade leaks to kind of throw people off?
Yeah, so one of his research tactics and one of his tactics for throwing people off is to spend a lot of time in locations and looking at artworks that have nothing to do with what he's working on. So, this book is a thriller set in Florence. It's based on Dante's Inferno, but he spent a lot of time at the Uffizi Gallery, sort of looking at floor plans and looking at artwork there. He looked at the statue of David for a very long time, asked a lot of questions to art historians about that. And he told me he can't really make a trip without somebody saying, "Guess who I saw today? Guess who I was talking to?" And I think while he was in Florence,
and there's Twitter
tourists
and
were taking pictures, putting it on Facebook. So he had to throw out a lot of false clues to cover his tracks.
It's exhausting. Of course, this is a guy who writes, a 100-page outline for his books, wakes up at 4 a.m. to start writing. So exhaustion he probably doesn't even know what that word means. When you talk to him, you kind of got the scoop on some of the works of art that actually did make it into Inferno. Tell us about those.
Sure. I mean, without giving too much away of the plot, because these are all clues, it's a Dan Brown novel.
Right.
He spends a lot of time on Botticelli'S Map of Hell, which is based on the Inferno. The version that appears in his book has been doctored slightly to hold some more clues. He visits this giant mural by Vasari, which it includes this code that says "seek and find" in Latin. This is actually in the painting, and scholars believe it's pointing the way towards a missing Leonardo da Vinci painting, but Brown uses it to a different effect to sort of unravel this plot that's targeting billions of people.
And Dante's death mask, this figures in?
This does, and this, there are, I think, several different death masks, and no one's sure which one is the legitimate one. But in the plot of this novel, the death mask holds an important clue. There's some phrase that suggests if he looks through the eyes of death, he'll figure out where this thing that he's looking for is, and he figures out the eyes of death could potentially be the death mask.
And he's sort of confessed to you that he actually has dozens of potential Robert Langdon books in his mind and scenarios. You asked him about Shakespeare, controversy around whether Shakespeare wrote his works. He said maybe, but he doesn't seem he has any dearth of ideas. If he did, though, he would hang himself upside down by gravity boots?
This is funny. This is something that has come out in interviews in the past, and people have talked about it as what he does when he has writer's block. He said that I never have writer's block. I have too many ideas. He hangs upside down in gravity boots for more than a minute. He said it has to be more than a minute or it won't work. And this helps him clear his head. And he said it helps him with plot twists. So when he gets his hero, Robert Langdon, stuck in a corner somewhere and he can't think of a way to get him out, everyone's shooting at the guy, he'll hang upside down in gravity boots and suddenly he'll find a brilliant escape plan.
Do you hear that clicking? That's the clicking of all these desperate novelists out there ordering gravity boots, Googling them online right now.
I mean, who knows? I should give it a try.
Yeah, let's do it. Secret codes. He drops little secret codes too into his book for those people who are really searching for just that extra plot twist.
Yeah, and he said there are some codes in there that he thinks nobody has ever found, because usually a fan will write to him if they find something that's really hidden. He says, sometimes the page number matters. If something happens on page 54, that might mean something. He does a lot of scrambling of people's names, people that he knows. He uses people from his past, and he sticks in little inside jokes for them, like his 12th grade Italian teacher appeared in Angels and Demons. Nice. Unfortunately, the man was drowned in a fountain, which was upsetting to his Italian teacher.
Details. You're still in the book. Remind us when exactly the book is out.
The book is out.
It is out now, so we can
go.
So you're just being kind not to spoil these plot twists for everybody.
I'm sure someone's already spoiled them, but maybe people want to read it for themselves.
All right, Alexandra Alter will read your story for Secret Codes tomorrow. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.